All right, hello everybody. This is Jen Cesario. Just wanted to give anyone out there a little update, a little help on how to create a Google site. So, what I start off with is a Google page, and I am already signed in under my U46 account. So, I go over this 9 tile little block thing over here and click down where it says Sites. Now, within the sites, click on the Create button. Now, you could use it in classic sites or in the new sites. What I chose to do is go into new sites, kind of update those type of things. So I click in new sites. While the browser's loading, you can go ahead and think about what you want to kind of base the information on. Up here is the name of your site. You could choose whatever you would like. So I had chose BHS IPS Nation. That's kind of what I use for the class to kind of uh, create us all in one, my classes and Katzenbach's and Santi's, to be a kind of one group altogether. You can select your title page name. You could change your header type to a large banner or a title only. It's totally your choice. So I chose the banner. And then you can also go on and change the images. Now this is kind of cool because they have gallery images, which you can use. You can upload your own photo. You can upload an image by the URL or the link of the site. Or what I've been doing a lot is I just typed in random things like physical science. And when I do something like that, it gives me a whole bunch of images that I can use to select and make my background image. And the nice thing about this is that it does adjust it for readability. So what I had done is I've already created my site, and this is kind of the introduction to it. On the side over here, we have different things you can add in, like a text box. You can add that in over here and type in whatever you'd like. Images, once again, could be things that you find from URL. You can drag into here. You could search for and put them right in there. An embedded URL is a link that you can go onto to an external page from your own page. The nice part about Google Sites is that you already have your Google Drive kind of linked to it. So you could add Google Drive files. So if I look under My Drive, I can go through any of the folders that I might have and pick out any item. Let's say Bartlett. Okay, and then I go on to IPS and pick out a different image. So if I scroll down a little bit, let's say I wanted this cool Wordle that I made for the group. Okay, and I can go ahead and I can adjust that by adjusting the size. I can also take this one. If I click, double click, left hand side, I can also add in within here text, upload something else. I can upload an image, a URL. If I click on text, I can have a textbook. Word cloud for BHS IPS Nation, and so on. So the possibilities are kind of endless. The nice part is that it's all over here in this little tag side. You could also include videos. You have the URL link from that. A calendar. What I do is I have different calendars for the different committees that I'm on. One that I created was the IPS schedule. So if I go back to any of these different types of things, the calendar that I have, I can put right on here. Let me show you how I did that. So if I go back to the IPS Nation one that I originally started with, and I go to the home page, and this is the home page that I'm using, I had chose to put all the different tabs on top. You could click over here on the little gear looking thing and change it to side navigation for all the different ones. Or you could keep it as top navigation, which is what I chose to do. Then I went through and I added some information, some contacts, and I even added a video. How did I do that? All I did was I went over to YouTube and included the video that I had made for my class. Nice thing about this is that I've all got the email addresses for all the different teachers that teach IPS at BHS. Then I came down and I inserted images. Now these are not just pretty pictures. What I had done, if you go to this little chain looking thing, you could add in the link directly to, in this case, our Twitter account for IPS, in this case, our Instagram, and in this case, our YouTube. So you can take an image and actually link it up. I also went through and I went to the different pages So you could have this one we call accessing your student Gmail accounts. Kind of help students get into how the heck do I sign into my Gmail account. Electronic copies of mini books. This is what I use to kind of instruct the materials for the different units we have. And this was super easy. All I had to do was go down, click into a spot, go into insert my drive, and I can pick out these items that I wanted to put on the website for students to use. Once again, right over there, right inside the website. So that was super cool and super easy and super user friendly. Other pages that we had, I included my syllabus on there. And the nice thing about the site is that it doesn't just give you a file, it kind of gives you a preview what the file looks like. Kind of like when you look at any files in your drive, you see like a little thumbnail view of it. You can take it, you can zoom in, you can download it out. IPS newsletter, we do a newsletter every single month for IPS, so there's kind of copies of those ones. And it goes through and shows you what we have available here for IPS. This is the part that I was talking about with the calendar. So what I had done was I created a separate calendar on my Gmail, which was looking at IPS. So if I go back and I go to my calendar, so this is the 9 thumbnail thing over here, my calendar, I have a bunch of different calendars set up. One just for me, one for the Avid that I'm in, Hawk Pride Counselor, which I was in, but I created one called IPS Schedule. And I can go through, I can add things into the schedule, and it'll show up on the student's um, site page now. So if I go through and I want to say, okay, the 9th is going to be our first day back at school, all I had to do was go over, right over here, and say, first, let me go back to that one second. So I click on that date and I type in there, I go to my IPS schedule and type in winter breakouts. I can create that event and then I can see that event. I go back to my website, right over here on my website, and it already loads up for it. I also have positive reinforcement. It's a policy that we use to help us out, and any online files that I might have. And once again, this is super awesome because I take the files I already have on my drive and just put them right there, right onto the website. Okay. So once you go through and you kind of play around with it, you could do things like change the backgrounds, like that. If you go on the side over here, any of these things, you'll see different choices as far as changing deleting it or making it larger, opening a new tab. Totally up to you. The nice thing is that when you work on a page, there's a little eye looking thing. And you could see what a user would see of that page on that page right then and there. So it's kind of like the up-to-date newest version of it. You can put it in computer view, in tablet view, or in phone view. Doesn't matter, whatever works for you. You could also add editors, so add people that can add to the website if you are collaborating with other members of the school or of the group or any with one of those. So I am the one that created it. Mrs. DeSanti is my co-teacher, so her and I work together on Colab IPS, and then Mr. Katzenbach is our other IPS teacher that teaches the other 3 sections. So you can add them in there, and like with most things with Drive, you can share the information. They can all work on that. So as you're going through and you think, oh man, this looks great. I think I've got everything I need. Biggest thing you have to remember is this button over here, this publish button. Okay, click on publish, and whatever you have made, it'll be shown, and you can click on this view button and see the view of your page. Now, the only thing you have to remember is that when you do have these sites and you do change materials to them, make sure you republish it, because the most up-to-date version is the one that you're going to see as published. And if you don't save the changes and if you don't republish it, you're going to get back to the old, different versions of the site that you might have created. Hope this helped out a little bit. Please feel free to go ahead and check out my site, ask for help. A lot of times it's really user friendly. You can always go right to Google and just type in how to make a Google site. And you'll go through and you'll see a bunch of different search engines. You can go through videos, something like this, all right? But a lot of it is just kind of trial and error and playing around with it. So I hope that whatever it is that I've kind of talked about here a little bit has helped you out a little bit. You are more than welcome to shoot me an email if you have any questions on it. And hopefully it's user friendly enough for you to also create some cool websites. So good luck and hope to talk to you guys soon. Thanks and have a good one.